What's happening, guys? Sam Adams here, and welcome to another E3 2018 breakdown. Tonight, we're talking about PlayStation's E3 2018 conference, which was somewhat impressive, but the format was so incredibly strange. It began with a big Last of Us 2 debut, then rolled into somewhat of a talk show. Very strange, and then it changed formats. I don't know. Before we jump into the news, never do that again. That was terrible, PlayStation. I love you, but dang, no. With that being said, let's jump into PlayStation's E3 2018 press conference and break down the hottest news because, oh, there was aplenty. To start off the entire show, we had The Last of Us Part 2 gameplay, which looks stunning. One thing that I was kind of confused about and then was a little bit hesitant about, but then fully embraced, was the fact that Ellie has a huge piece of characterization at the very beginning of the shot, which is that she has a girlfriend, and they kiss, and then there is this giant scene of murder. A dude's head gets chopped off, there's a lot of arrows being fired, it's very violent, but I love the look of the game because it seems to be just what you would expect from The Last of Us, but there have been improvements to the overall shooting mechanics of the game. It looks like a fantastic sequel, and I'm very excited to see how it continues to shape up, and without Joel being there, Ellie is very much so holding her own. There is a lot of personality within that character model, within that character and the personality that is behind what is going on with the story. I'm pretty pumped. Not as pumped as other people, but pretty pumped. Then we had a couple of pieces of Activision news. First off, we had Call of Duty Black Ops 3 getting a free debut as a PlayStation Plus game for 1 month. If you have PlayStation Plus, you can get Black Ops 3 for free starting tonight to kind of build up the hype going up to Black Ops 4. Of course, there was also the reveal of 4 fan favorite maps that were coming back. We all knew that was coming. That was old news. However, we also saw some Destiny 2 news, which was a teaser trailer for the Forsaken expansion that's coming in September, where Prince Aldrin actually shot Cayde 6 in the face with his own gun. For those that love Activision games like Black Ops and Destiny, this was some big news, even though it was a very small piece of the conference. Then we saw Ghost of Tsushima, in fact, an extended trailer that I think we saw more of than I expected. I did not expect to see that much of this game at this year's conference, but lo and behold, here we are, and it is shaping up to be a fantastic looking game. On top of that, the combat itself is very brutal, it's very gory, there's not much to be held back. It really does look to be a realistic depiction of this kind of setting. As time goes on, you begin to see more of a characterization, kind of like in the way that you had the same thing with The Last of Us Part 2, where these two characters that are featured within the trailer do have some kind of friction between them, but also a friendship where they have to team up and fight a giant army of enemies. It looks like a really interesting game. I'm not completely sold on it, but Ghost of Tsushima certainly does have potential to be a big part of the PlayStation ecosystem going forward. I will say, it also has just about as high of a potential to fail, but that's just my 2 cents. Still, a good-looking game. Then we saw Control. We saw Control. In the same way that Session is now Skate 4, we have Control being Quantum Break 2. It's a woman with telekinetic powers that is really good at shooting things. Really good-looking trailer. If you enjoyed Quantum Break, it's coming to you from Remedy, so it's pretty much the exact same. It's a sequel. It's a sequel. It's a spiritual successor. It is the light that keeps on shining. This is essentially Quantum Break 2, which is nothing that I am upset about. I'm just glad to see that it's coming out. If I had to guess, this is probably named Control because of some kind of copyright issue between Microsoft and the name Quantum Break. I feel like that might be it. But needless to say, very excited to see what comes from this one. I do love some time manipulation and telekinesis. And then we had Resident Evil 2, which is a long-rumored remake coming to us from Capcom, and it was something that absolutely stole the show. I love how they kind of eased us into the trailer. It wasn't just unabashedly there is Resident Evil 2. It kind of eased me into it where it shocked me. I wasn't expecting to see Leon bust through the door, but every character is returning. It's a complete remake from the ground. Raccoon City, baby. Let's get back to Raccoon City. Somebody call me an Uber because I'm going to be there by tomorrow. Actually, you're going to be there by January the 25th, 2019. We then saw a little game coming to us from the creators of Rick and Morty. It looks like an interesting little quirky title. Nothing really to write home about here, but it does definitely cater to that Rick and Morty fan base. Following that directly, we had Kingdom Hearts 3, yet another trailer. We have had a ton of news coming from this one from E3 2018, but we saw Pirates of the Caribbean for the first time. This stuff looks fantastic. The ship combat was very interesting to me. That looks like some good ship combat. With that being said, then I saw more Kingdom Hearts stuff. I saw Elsa again. I saw Donald Duck and Goofy and all of the other things. That kind of, I dribbled off right there, but Pirates of the Caribbean, Jack Sparrow Why is the rum gone? After that, we saw Death Stranding. Now, this game is one that has been on my radar, as it has been for just about everybody, but I've been on the fence about it because Hideo Kojima is, quite frankly, very strange. The way that he does games is something that is a mixture of artistic and confusing, but it's very, very respectable. For instance, whenever you were playing the Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain, there were certain aspects of it that made perfect sense. There were some aspects of it, like Quiet herself, that made no sense to me. Maybe it's a problem with me. That's probably what it is. But with Death Stranding, after seeing the gameplay, after seeing the world fleshed out in a definitive way, in a trailer that I could understand, I'm interested in it, and that's more than I have been in the past couple of years. As we've seen this game grow from an announcement to something that's actually concrete, I'm excited to see more, and that's more than I can say from before E3. Of course, rabid Hideo Kojima fans are probably analyzing it right now, looking like that guy from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It is going to be one of those games that is going to be a genre-defining game. In fact, I'm not even sure what genre it is. It's just a really strange game. There's a baby in Norman Reedus, and Guillermo del Toro was not in this. Still a weird game. Interested though. Then we saw Nioh 2, a game that I did not expect to get a reveal at E3 2018, but lo and behold, here we are. It seems like it's a bit soon for another Nioh, but I know that there are a ton of fans out there that would love to see one. I just hope that there is enough within the sequel that, you know, differentiates it from the original, and I'm sure that there will be. I've watched a good bit of the first Nioh via twitch.tv/manversusgame. You guys might have heard of him. He's an iconic broadcaster over there. But a really fun game. It's a good entry point into the Soulsborne style games if you are into that feudal Japan kind of setting. And the Spider-Man trailer, let's talk about that one. Spider-Man, of course, is coming to us from Insomniac Games, a fantastic looking addition to the PlayStation library, but the main thing here is that essentially there is a prison break, and you get to see a ton of the characters slash enemies that you are going to be facing off against in the new Spider-Man game. You have Vulture, you have Scorpion, you have Rhino, you have Electro, you have Mr. Negative, you have all of these characters had within this trailer. I wish that there was Doc Ock. I wish that we saw the Green Goblin or the Hobgoblin. I can't ask for too much because I'm sure that they want to make sequels here, but Electro, Rhino, Scorpion, Vulture, Mr. Negative, oh yes. Yes, there is so much about Spider-Man that I love. On top of that, you had the Arkham-style combat that is absolutely breathtaking. It looks like it flows just as well as the Rocksteady games, and the web slinging is just so fluid and it makes everything so easy to move around. Oh, I cannot wait to play this game. Insomniac has absolutely knocked it out of the park with this one, and I cannot wait to dive into that story. And that was essentially the entirety of the Sony E3 2018 lineup. And that was essentially all of the PlayStation E3 2018 lineup. There was an after show that went into more detail as to some of the big name titles that were shown off at the showcase, but that was pretty much it. It was short, sweet, and to the point, but again, I want to drive home. If anybody out there happens to be connected to somebody from PlayStation, happens to be from PlayStation, I know that I'm not a big YouTuber, I get that. I understand. It's alright, I've come to terms with it. I cry myself to sleep at night, and it's okay. But never do that again. Never do that whole debut a big game, come back, and have a talk show for 45 minutes, and then start up the actual conference. That was terrible. That killed the flow, killed the hype. You almost killed E3 for yourself, but I would say the PlayStation is a contender to have won the show yet again, but it's on the same level as Xbox and Bethesda this year. They have done some amazing work over there with the guys at E3 2018 and the people behind the scenes. Very, very impressed with the shows that I've seen this year, including the PlayStation one that we just broke down. So I hope you guys have enjoyed tonight's show. If you did, drop me a like down below. If you want to learn more about E3 2018 and what was revealed, I have an entire playlist of content on YouTube and also a ton of podcasts over on anchor.fm/Samuel Adams. Links for all of the goods will be down in the description box below, but thank you for watching this video. I hope to see you in the comment section soon. Peace. And I cannot wait to sling some webs because, man, Spider-Man just looks so good. Yeah!